Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Unbroken Wings, the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Today's conversation is one that I think almost all of us have had, even if we've never admitted it out loud. Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else was ahead? Someone is getting married. Someone just bought a house. Someone is traveling the world. Someone just announced a promotion. Someone is having a baby. And then you look at your own life and quietly ask yourself, am I behind or something? You start wondering if you've missed your moment, if everyone else got it figured out except you. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that by a certain age, we should have everything figured out. Our career, our finances, our relationships, our purpose, our healing, our faith, everything. But who decided that timeline? Because life doesn't happen according to our schedule. It happens in seasons, and comparison has a way of convincing us that we're late when really we're just on a different road. I also think social media has made this pressure even heavier. We're constantly seeing highlight reels, but people rarely post the rejection, the uncertainty, the prayers that still haven't been answered, or the nights they questioned whether they were enough. We're comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, and that's not a fair comparison. And I know that feeling because I've lived it. When I graduated high school, I went to Fort Valley State University for veterinary science. At the time, I was convinced I knew exactly what my life was supposed to look like. I had a plan: open an equestrian therapy farm and live a happy life. But life happened. I ended up withdrawing from school after a very close friend was murdered on campus. At first, I told myself it was only temporary. I'll go back next semester. Then next semester became next year once I started working. And next year somehow became years. Before I knew it, almost 10 years had passed. Now imagine carrying that around, watching people you graduated with finish college, build careers, buy homes, get married, start families, while you're sitting there wondering why your own life feels like it's standing still. The pressure wasn't really about school. It was about feeling like I had fallen behind in life. And I know I'm not the only person who's ever felt that way. There were moments when I questioned myself. I wondered if I had missed my opportunity, if maybe I had waited too long, if maybe my dreams had expired. But here's what I learned. Just because something takes longer than you expected doesn't mean God forgot about it. One day, I stopped asking myself what everyone else was doing, and I started asking, what do I actually want? Not what looked impressive, not what made sense to everybody else, but what was God placing on my heart. And that's when I realized something. The dream I had at 18 wasn't the dream I had anymore. God wasn't calling me back to veterinary science. He was leading me somewhere completely different. Aviation science. Can I be honest? Going back to school almost 10 years later was intimidating. I wasn't the same age as a lot of my classmates. I wondered if I was too late. I wondered if I should have done this years ago. But then one thought completely changed my perspective. I'd rather be 30 pursuing the life God has for me than 40 wishing I had started at 30. Because whether I went back or not, the years were going to pass anyway. So I stopped mourning the time I had lost and started being grateful for the time I still had. Looking back now, I can honestly say those 10 years weren't wasted. The jobs, the disappointments, the waiting, the lessons, the growth, even the delays. God used every single one of them to shape who I am today. If I had finished school exactly when I planned, I honestly don't think I'd be the woman sitting behind this microphone today. Sometimes what feels like a detour is actually preparation. And maybe that's exactly where you are today. Maybe you're looking at your own timeline, wondering why your life doesn't look like everyone else's. Can I remind you of something? Delay is not the same thing as failure. Sometimes God isn't saying no. Sometimes He's saying, I'm preparing you. Because the version of you that's praying for the blessing may not yet be the version that's prepared to carry it. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Character takes time. The world celebrates speed. God often values preparation. Think about Noah. He built an ark before there was rain. Can you imagine how foolish he probably looked? But obedience isn't always understood while you're building. Think about David. He was anointed king, but then went back to tending sheep. His calling came long before his crown. And then there's Joseph. He had the dream, but before the palace, there was betrayal, slavery, prison, years of waiting. None of those seasons canceled God's promise. They prepared him for it. Maybe that's true for us too. Maybe your waiting season isn't punishment. Maybe it's preparation. If you've been feeling behind lately, I want you to hear this. You don't need to have your whole life figured out. You just need enough faith for the next step, not the next 10 years, not the entire blueprint, just the next faithful step, because clarity usually comes while you're moving, not while you're waiting to feel completely ready. Maybe your timeline looks different because your assignment is different. Maybe your story won't look like theirs because it was never supposed to. And honestly, there's freedom in that. So this week, instead of asking, why am I behind? Ask yourself, what is God teaching me in this season? That question changes everything because every season, even the painful ones, even the confusing ones, even the delayed ones, are producing something in us. Before we close, I want you to remember this. Your worth isn't determined by your relationship status, your paycheck, your degree, your age, or how much you've accomplished. Your worth was settled the moment God created you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are becoming exactly who God is shaping you to be. And His timing has never been early, and it's never been late. It's always been right on time. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, send it to someone who's been carrying the weight of feeling behind, because chances are they need this reminder too. And as always, remember, even in life's uncertain seasons, your wings remain unbroken. Until next time, take care and keep soaring.